Today on Monkey Life. Comings and goings at the park as marmoset family, the Simpsons, head off to a new home in Somerset.
All good. Marge and Nelson boxed straight away, and then Bart and Ralph just needed a couple of minutes afterwards to calm down.
And marmoset Tyre returns in their place, looking for love.
Hey, princess. Oh my goodness, you are so cute.
She's very cute.
Plus, the barn woollies welcome a new member to the group, baby Xenia. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
There they are. It's so amazing. They look really fit and healthy. All good.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. Space at the park for new rescues is at a premium, especially for small primates like the marmosets. The legal primate pet trade in the UK has led to many needing to be rehomed from owners unable to give them the expert care and attention they need. As a result, the park is now full to the brim. A bill to change the pet trade law is currently going through Parliament. But until it passes, the trade and inevitable rescues will continue. To alleviate the situation, Monkey World has teamed up with a number of other wildlife parks and sanctuaries with room to take on some of its rehabilitated and established pairs or groups. Today, one of those families is leaving for a new home at Puxton Park in Somerset.
So we've chosen the Simpsons to send because, to be honest, we're running out of sort of healthier rehabilitated pairs to send. The mark of the pet trade, unfortunately, is stamped forever on some individuals. They always will struggle with things like rickets and mobility. So anybody that's a bit weak and wobbly, we can't send. Whereas the Simpsons are a pretty healthy and pretty robust group of 4. We also think taking them away from the squirrel house, where there's a lot going on. You know, you've got squirrel monkeys, you've got sarkies and Loki the marmoset next door, and they sometimes get a bit hot and bothered about the neighbours. So taking them away to an environment where they're much more sort of not surrounded by other primate species might actually be quite good for them. And they just work really well as a nice little family unit, as marmosets should be. So we're going to miss them, but we know that Puxton are really good at looking after them. We've seen that with the 2 pairs we've sent previously, so good thing for them, and frees up a bit of space for us for all of those countless rescues out there that are going to need our help.
But Steph won't be returning empty-handed. She's bringing back Tyre, a female marmoset rescued by Alison from appalling conditions at a flat in Plymouth, who went on to live at Puxton. She's recently lost her mate, so is returning to the park where some single males are in need of a partner.
Really excited to see Tyre. She's a madam. I'm curious to see if she's still a little madam. She was always quite a small marmoset, quite boxy, but always quite feisty and full of attitude, so it'll be interesting to see if she's still that way. So we'll bring her back here, we'll get her settled, and then we'll consider who's the best option to try for an introduction for her.
Steph and Elle have persuaded the Simpsons family into travel crates ready for the journey.
All good. Marge and Nelson boxed straight away, and then Bart and Ralph just needed a couple of minutes afterwards to calm down and then realise malt loaf was worth getting into the catch crate for.
The family consists of mum Marge, son Bart, and young twins Nelson and Ralph. Unlike most of the primates rescued at the park, the twins have had a great start to life. They've been brought up by their parents, with all their needs met. The foursome are perfect candidates to move on.
Oh. Look after them.
It's a 2-hour journey to Puxton. Steph is aiming to deliver the Simpsons, collect Tyre, and be back in Dorset in time to get her settled for the night in her new home. The primate care teams at the park are on a permanent mission to enrich the lives of the animals in their care, and today, the park's 2 patas monkeys are in for a prickly treat. Toby has some fresh blackberries and rose hips still attached to their thorny stems, and he's hanging them all over the pair's enclosure.
It's going to be interesting to see how they work it out. Also, there's the different sort of ripeness amongst them. There's some very ripe ones, some not so ripe ones, and so they're going to have to work out which ones are tasty, which ones are not. Or no, Mr. P, he'll just eat everything that goes because he's quite a greedy boy. But we're hoping that as well that it will make him, slow him down a bit and give Penelope a chance to eat and join in, because he is quite a fast eater and she's not. So sometimes he does try and hoard the majority of the food.
In the wild, patas monkeys are ground-dwelling, living mainly on the savannah, eating fruits and seeds, as well as the leaves and gum from native plants, such as the acacia. Toby is hoping to replicate some of these feeding habits today.
When they're getting them out of the acacia bushes, they're not going to be sitting on the ground. They're going to have to reach up and things. And yeah, it's just to make them work a bit more and challenge them a bit more. So hopefully it will encourage Mr. P to be more active and be up in the sort of climbing around and using muscles that he wouldn't use all the time necessarily.
Toby lets the pair into the enclosure, and they make a beeline for the thorny fruit. Mr. P is immediately attracted by the brightly coloured rose hips, full of nutrients and vitamin C.
I think you can safely say he likes rose hips.
Penelope opts to sample both offerings. Patas monkeys are well adapted to tackling the prickly fruits. Their long fingers can easily manipulate them from the spiky stems. Their padded, leathery hands give them added protection. It's been a few months since Penelope underwent a health check, which resulted in her having 8 teeth removed. She's made a good recovery, is generally eating better, and is a lot happier. But due to her age, she now has some other medical issues.
She has developed a cataract in her right eye. It is becoming more and more obvious, and we notice that she does struggle a bit more with the foraging and things and finding things. But in terms of herself, she seems really bright, really confident. Her weight is good. She was weighed yesterday and she's put on another 100 grams in the last month. She does have her issues. Her mobility isn't what it was. She is a bit stiff on the back end, bit of arthritis going on. We do treat her for that. She gets some medications for that. But as a pair, they're doing brilliantly. They're really settled in their new home.
Mr. P is the dominant one of the pair. But that hasn't affected today's outcome. The patas have both tackled the thorny, prickly provisions with relish.
A pair of them have not been bothered at all by the thorns. They've just gone for it, really. And just seeing them doing these natural things and a behaviour that's sort of replicating something they'd have to do in the wild is really, really nice for us to see. And it's definitely something we can think about and revisit again.
A few weeks ago, a large crate was dropped off at the orangutan nursery. It's a sign someone will soon be on the move to a new home. And that someone is Sylvester.
Sylvester's got a home at Basel Zoo and is lucky enough he's going to have 2 ladies all to himself, so it's time. He's now beyond adolescence and starting to fill out to become a fully mature male. It's time for him to leave the nursery and it's time to move on and graduate. This is always a difficult part for us, but it's important that he goes off. We're not going to be able to provide him an adult group of his own, so it's time for him to graduate.
Sylvester is a Sumatran orangutan, which means he can't join the adult females at the park, who are all Bornean. He's fast approaching adulthood and testosterone is kicking in. Alison has spent more than a year trying to find him a suitable home with other Sumatran orangs. She was delighted when Basel Zoo in Switzerland agreed he could join their young adult female Maya and her 4-year-old daughter Padma.
OK, you can rattle the slide, Jeremy. Oh.
To prepare Sylvester for his journey, the primate care team have been busy crate training.
Good boy, Sylvester. Good boy. Well done.
Over the weeks, they've gradually increased the time he's kept in the crate, with the slide shut behind him.
Good boy, Sylvester.
It's all aimed at keeping Sylvester as stress-free as possible when the time comes for him to finally leave.
What we try and do is make this the fun place, make it as happy as possible for them. No stresses, no worries about going in and out of it, and then hopefully it makes the journey that much more comfortable when it does come to them going. I mean, some of these journeys sometimes can be a very, very long time as well, so obviously getting them used to that crate, also giving them enrichment and things like that in there as well, things to do as well, really helps it be a more positive place to be.
Sylvester arrived 12 years ago as a tiny, orphaned infant. As he's grown up, he's seen others come and go, and he too will be leaving behind some great friendships, particularly Bulu Mata. But even that relationship has changed in recent months.
He's getting to that point now where he can get a little bit too rough with Bulu, and they're all realising it. I think Bulu's got his guard up a tiny bit with him sometimes, but also still spending a fair bit of nice time with him. But it certainly is a good indication that it's time for Sylvester to leave the group and join some adult females and become the big man that he's due to be one day.
A timescale has yet to be decided for Sylvester's departure. There's still lots of paperwork and logistics to sort out. But when the day arrives, it will be a poignant moment for everyone.
It certainly will be a sad, emotional day when Sylvester goes for all of us keepers and probably for the orangutans as well. I mean, they've been living with him for a very long time now. But it's about the greater good of the future, and Sylvester will be a lot happier with people his own age and certainly some girls around him.
There's some happy news for the park's barn group of woolly monkeys. 10-year-old Eva has given birth to her third baby, a little girl the team have named Xenia. Both mum and baby are doing well.
She's becoming more of an experienced mum now. She's keeping baby close and looking after her and yeah, just doing all the right things for her. She's feeding, she looks really strong. She's quite a small petite baby, but then Ava herself is a small female. So yeah, we'll obviously just keep an eye on how she progresses. But so far, everything looks going the right way.
Although Chippy is the leader and dominant male of this group, the team are pretty certain that younger male Xavi is the father. He and Eva are very close and spend a lot of time together. Xavi is a year younger than Eva. He can be quite boisterous, but so far he's been very calm and respectful around mum and baby. It's not unusual among woolly monkeys for the father to be someone other than the dominant male.
This is perfectly normal. In the wild, there's multiple males, and as long as the subordinate males are discreet, then they will get their opportunities with the females. So there's not just one male that will kind of control all the females. The females have the pick, and they can choose who they prefer to spend time with discreetly.
Chippy is a good leader and performs his role perfectly. He's always on the lookout, checking everything is safe for his family. Eva's second child, Catalina, is now 2 years old and is very good at keeping herself occupied, particularly now she's no longer the centre of mum's attention.
Catalina's just constantly a ball of fun, and she's constantly just getting herself in little scrapes where she's flinging herself off things. She's able to entertain herself quite easily, and she doesn't have any other youngsters in the group, but you might catch her having a little play with Dad, Chippy. She's being very sort of calm around mum and baby, so she's not sort of become the toddler that's thrown its toys out of the pram because she's not the baby anymore. So yeah, they seem to be working it out quite nicely together.
And the new arrival could be the perfect playmate for Catalina in the future. At the Stumpy house and enclosure, the ugly monkeys, as they're affectionately known, are being let out for their morning feed and exercise. The past 12 months have brought dramatic changes to the elderly group. First, they lost their long-time leader Sam and 2 of the females. And now, in the last month, Kelly has had to be put to sleep, and Noreen has passed peacefully away of old age. There are just 3 macaques left in the group.
It's just been a very, very difficult year down here. It's not what we expected. Obviously, last summer we lost Flo, Sam and Charlie, all within a month of each other. So it is very strange down here. It's very quiet with just the 3 of them.
The 3 remaining macaques are the boys Toto and Freddie and female Sylvie. At 24, she's the youngest of the trio and the only survivor from the group of 12 rescued from a medical research laboratory in Scotland in 2010. Leader Sam and 18 other Stumpies had arrived 10 years earlier from another British research laboratory. All 31 of the lab macaques arrived with numerous medical conditions. Many were overweight and most were in their teens or older.
For us to still have some of those guys left sort of coming up to 12 years later is really quite some going. But one thing we have learnt with them over the years is that when the Stumpies start to show symptoms, you know that you're getting to quite a bad place with them because they are so tough. They hide and mask pain and anything really, really well. And it is a difficult decision for the staff whether we put a Stumpy to sleep, but invariably we've always found out that actually once we've done it, it's very much the right decision.
Amid all the turmoil, there is a silver lining. Toto, Freddie and Sylvie are now living, eating and sleeping as one group. Differences have been set aside and it's all harmonious, for now. The hierarchy appears to have been finally worked out, with Toto in charge and Sylvie happy to be at his side.
Yeah, Toto is doing very well. It's been a long, slow process for Toto to learn how to be a macaque, really. In the past year, his biggest achievement probably has been the fact that he's learned how to forage for food on the floor, because this was always a challenge with him. To be honest, in terms of enrichment for these guys, giving them some really good foraging probably burns off more calories than them sort of working out how to get something out of a Kong or something. It's one of the best ways of keeping them busy, and it keeps them entertained for a good period of time.
Freddie seems pretty content with his lot, although does get overlooked sometimes by the other 2.
Since we've had the 3 of them back together, Freddie's actually spending quite a lot of time outside. He's sort of enjoying sort of the enclosure, and it's really good for him to be able to get the fresh air and a bit of vitamin D, and yeah, just also good for him just to be able to move around. He's been doing a lot of running around and displaying as well out there.
It may have been a tumultuous 12 months, but Toby is philosophical.
It is very sad, but we know that these guys have had a much better life here than they could ever possibly have, and say we've still got these 3 going strong and exploring their enclosure, and the last sort of week of the 3 of them back together, they seem to have got a new lease of life.
Following a 2-hour journey to the neighbouring county of Somerset, Steph has arrived at Puxton Park, along with the Simpsons, a family of 4 marmosets.
So we've got Marge and Nelson in here.
All right, hello.
Sort of half in, half out.
Yeah, bless them.
So Marge, you can see her tufts stick up, which is why she got the Marge Simpson name for the like vertical hair.
You can follow me.
With space at Monkey World for these small primates at a premium, the 4 monkeys are being rehomed at Puxton. It's not the first time the 2 centres have come to such an arrangement, and probably won't be the last.
Very excited. We're quite a fairly new establishment, so to be able to help people like Monkey World to provide a home for these rescues is brilliant, really. And this facility was almost designed with them in mind, so it's really good having them here, and hopefully for them to have fun here too, so yeah.
Returning with Steph to Dorset will be Tyre, a female marmoset now in need of a companion.
Perhaps into this one.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. That's perfect. All right, we'll go carry this way.
But before she collects Tyre, Steph wants to see the Simpsons happy and settled in their new home.
So you're going to go with Marge and Nelson first, as they seem to be sort of up and about and ready to go. And then we'll do the other 2 boys. And then I'll try and sneak out while they're busy exploring.
Marge is first.
There we go.
with the rest of the family soon following.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
So that's Bart.
Okay.
That's Dad.
Only Ralph is a little reluctant.
So Ralph does tend to be the slightly more reserved one of the two young boys. There we go, good boy.
They all appear relaxed in their new surroundings.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Straight into exploring everything, having a good sniff around. Be a lot of scent marking, I imagine, over the next sort of half hour or so as they sort of claim everything as theirs now.
For Joe and his team, identifying all four will be a challenge.
I'll listen to what Steph's been saying, all the ways of telling them apart. We found with them it's about behaviour as well, so hopefully the behaviours will get a little indication who's who and how they react here. So yeah, so we're gonna have fun, but that's what it's all about. So yeah.
Taya has been caught, ready for the journey. She just needs to walk from one travel crate to another.
Hi, Taya.
Okay, she's come through. She's in.
Definitely tail in. Yeah, that looks like.
All right, happy?
Happy. We have a tyre. That was relatively easy.
A final check on the four. Steph has mixed feelings.
Yeah, it's always a little bit emotional, just sort of having to walk away. But I'm really excited to have Taya back. I'm excited to get her settled with a new partner. And yeah, looking forward to hopefully some more collaboration between us and Puxton in the future.
It's a quick, uneventful journey back to the park in Dorset, where the team are ready to welcome Taya.
Hey, Princess. Oh my goodness, you are so cute.
She's very cute. So she's hybrid, so hence the grey tufts, and she's also very box-like in shape.
For now, Taya will be in a bedroom in the squirrel monkey house, living alongside them, plus the Sarkies and Loki the marmoset.
Right, want to have a look, Miss Taya?
The team are hoping that the two will eventually hit it off and become a pair. Only time will tell. Next time on Monkey Life. Vet day for some of the small primates at the park. And there are concerns for Nellie the loris.
She's got a mass in her abdomen, Alison.
And how do you tackle this? Gibbon Tio eventually cracks the problem.